one of the most interesting mushroom pickles I've made. Today, we're talking about pickled honey mushrooms. And big thanks to longtime reader Bob Ford for insisting that I try his pickled honey mushrooms. First thing to know is that there's different sizes of honey mushrooms. You want the buttons or almost buttons for this. You do not want sporulated mushrooms or those that have opened caps. They're just not going to be good. They're going to be a little floppy. Secondly, as you can see here, we get to talk about mucilage. So a lot of times when people are talking about these mushrooms or pickled mushrooms online, they're not going to talk about the mucilage. This will happen with some different species, including Lactarius. It is most pronounced with honey mushrooms. So you can see the liquid is a little bit slimy there. I don't like using that word, but don't worry. People have been making pickled honey mushrooms for a very long time, and there's ways to get around it if that turns you off, which I will go over at the end of the video. So the first thing we're going to do, you can make this with frozen or fresh honey mushrooms. That's because frozen honey mushrooms need to be boiled before they're frozen. So you just take the mushrooms. You can see mostly I have small, young, unopened caps, and we just put them in a pot of water, bring them to a boil, cook them for a little bit, take them out, let them cool, and you can see they're a little bit slippery. It's just kind of how the mushrooms are. And then I portion them in bags and put those bags into a vacuum bag so that I have individual portions, enough for a single thing of soup or stew. And you can see when I put the mushrooms in individual Ziplocs inside the vacuum bag, there is no liquid that gets trapped and can prevent it from sealing. Now, to make the pickle, we're just going to take some salt and sugar, add some vinegar. You could use white vinegar, or I used rice wine vinegar here. Then we're going to wash the mushrooms off, the frozen mushrooms or the fresh mushrooms. Then we're going to assemble the jars. So Bob really stressed the importance of lemon thyme for this recipe. I didn't have any, but I really want to have that lemon flavor kind of at the forefront. So I'm going to use regular thyme, lemon zest, and some lemon verbena. There's a lot of different ways that you can vary the flavor here. You know, pickles are super flexible as long as you're not changing the pH or the acid level, which is really where you want to be careful. But I have peppercorns, a little hot chili, some minced or diced onion, a few slices of carrot, lemon zest, lemon thyme, lemon verbena. Then we'll just fill the jars with the mushrooms, leaving about 1/2 inch of headspace. Then we'll put that cooled pickled liquid in there that we cooked. And then we just put these into a water bath, and we're going to process pint jars for about 15 minutes. So cooking with these things, because they get a little bit mucilaginous, remember you don't have to serve them cold. Here I've mixed them with a little sour cream. That kind of hides the slipperiness, and serve them with pierogi. Also, if you just want to serve the caps, here's honey mushroom pierogi and potato filling with caramelized onion sour cream and little pickled caps that I warmed up in butter. If you serve them warm, you're not going to notice the mucilage as much. If you put them in soup, like this shrimp and miso broth with scallions and honey mushrooms, you're not going to taste the mucilage at all. And some people still just like to eat them cold out of the jar, and that's fine too if you like that. Just a simple breakdown of a fun way to preserve honey mushrooms. You can use with fresh or frozen mushrooms. The full recipe is on my website. There's a link at the top of the video description for that. Thanks for watching.